What's up, guys? What's up? The Olympia is over and the Olympia, post-Olympia tour is beginning right away. This Saturday, we have not one, but two shows happening. We have one contest in the UK, the British Grand Prix in Bradford, UK. And we also have the Mexican Pro Show in Mexico City. So I'd like to run through some of the top competitors at this. We got some really good competitors. Some of them were in the Olympia and did very well. Some of them were not in the Olympia, but let's take a look, guys. So we have to start with definitely one of the most popular guys in the industry today. From Slovakia, the Slovakian Superman, Michael Krizo Krizanek. So Krizo has not been seen since the springtime. He took 5th place at the inaugural Pittsburgh Pro. And then a couple weeks later went to New York Pro. Got 3rd place behind Nick Walker and William Bonac. He is looking freaky right now. Shoulders, arms, everything. This guy's got an incredible Herculean package. One of the thickest, densest guys in the sport right now. Huge fan base, and rightfully so. We love freaks in bodybuilding. And look at this. I don't know who has the best arms in bodybuilding today, but I think it might come down to either Krizo or Nick Walker. Krizo looks fantastic. He is definitely one of the favorites heading into this show. This is we're going through the British Grand Prix entries first, but he's one of the favorites to win this, guys, for sure. Let's see what else he has here. This is some really good updates from a week ago. So this was about a week and a half out. Look at that. He is a freak. He has one of the freakiest, most muscular poses in the sport because you see everything there. Crazy strided, thick chest, delts, traps. Quads are excellent. I'm trying to find some back shots for you guys because the back is where he hasn't been as impressive in the past. But, geez, look at that. Such clean, crisp separation between the muscles. That's what we don't see a whole lot of these days. I wish we saw more. Take a look at him real quick from Pittsburgh Pro earlier this season. Here he is in the middle. Again, he ended up taking 5th. Pittsburgh was a great lineup. Obviously, we had Derek Lunsford, the two-time Mr. Olympia champ, won that. Nick Walker took a very close and very controversial 2nd place, but Mike wasn't that far behind over there in 5th place and 3rd in New York. But looking fantastic. Krizo is definitely a favorite, as I said. Next up, we have the Shed. And I think I'm going to go to his coach, Chris Tuttles. Chris Tuttles got some good footage there. This was the Tsunami Showdown in France, where he placed 6th. I felt he was flat here. They didn't seem to think so, because you could see Chris Tuttles' assessment here was condition was spot on, which I agree with, no issues. Said he was full, but we can be fuller and be less conditioned, as weird as that sound. I don't think being less conditioned is ever a good idea, personally. Said he was 265-ish on stage. We need to be around 270. I do think he was a little flat here. I saw it mostly in the arms, the chest, the upper body. Legs on him are always fantastic. James has some thick legs, thick back. He's just a very thick guy, super strong. That is his money shot right there. That side tricep of his, it's up there with, to me, like Rubiel was one of the best in the game right now. As far as guys who aren't top Olympia competitors, side tricep shot on James is awesome. Go to his page for some recent updates. I'm going to look at some of your questions, guys. So when was this? That was 9 weeks ago. That's not recent at all. Come on, Ron. Find something new. Okay. It's him and his baby. All right, here we go. This was posted today. So this was 4 days out from the show, 5 days out. Again, 2 shows Saturday. We're talking about the one right here, the British Grand Prix. Of course, he's going to do that. He's actually won that before. He won one of the shows anyway. Tremendous back condition. See those hamstrings? I wish Andrew Jack's hamstrings looked like that. Just a little rounder, a little fuller, more drop to them in the side poses, because that's all Andrew really needs. We're not talking about Andrew right now, but I just had to bring it up since I did see some great hamstrings there. So that's the Shed. See if you guys have any comments or questions yet, because I don't want to fall too far behind. What's up, Connie? Old Chuck, sad day for the Sandown. I knew you guys weren't going to. I knew somebody would immediately start talking about how bummed they are. Derek won. Krizo should win the UK show. He's definitely one of the favorites. In fact, I'm looking here, thinking who could beat him. Sasan might beat him. I don't know if he can beat Sasan. These are the heydays of Grand Prix, many Olympic competitors on the road in Europe competing in 4 or 5. I remember sometimes it was 7 or 8, 10 shows. They'd be out in Europe for like 6 weeks. And a lot of times they'd be in one country on a Saturday, and then they would have to like take a bus overnight or a train overnight or fly and be in another country the next day to compete. That's how much they competed. Derek is a worthy champ. He's getting a lot of hate right now, Raymond. So much hate. I think Tony will win Mexico. Yeah, we'll get to Mexico, and I agree with you on that. From what I can tell, George Farah's been working wonders with Krizo. Yeah, that's right. Krizo has a new coach in George Farah this year. Krizo beat. It would have been better than Derek. Anyone. So the last place guy, Krizo have been looking really good. Sad, the biggest UK show outside Arnold UK is a more prestigious, competitive. Yeah, I would have liked to see some more people in it. I'm hearing Krizo has been working on his posing. Yeah, because we all remember that video where Steve Weinberger was chewing him out for being, I think he said that was awful or something like that about his posing. But here's James again, that side tricep shot. To me, that's his best pose. But James is really, really good. He's going to push Krizo. On paper, Krizo's ahead of him at this time, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen. All right, next up, let's go to Sas. Sasan Heirati. Where did Sas place at the Olympia? Sas was not in the top 15, guys. Jeez. Told you that was a tough show. And there's 20 guys. Here was Sas winning Toronto. He won that, and he won the Empro show in Spain this year. But he's got a tremendous physique, Sas. He's very complete. Gets in great condition. And I think this will be like show number 7 for him this year. He's done a lot. Oh, he got 16th. He's posted right here. Here's a shot from the Olympia. Oh, that was somebody's phone recording a computer screen, so I don't want to look at that too long and get a headache. Yeah, so Sas ended up he did not make top 15. There were 5 guys who tied for 16th because they don't place after. You can see that right there. After 15, they don't bother. Everyone after 15 is 16th. So 16th at the Olympia was Sas, Chenglong Shen from China, Dorian Haywood, Akim Williams, and Brett Wilkin. Let's see. I know Sas has some good footage on here from Detroit, though. That's what I want to find. Because he is a tremendous competitor. But the Olympia is the Olympia, guys. I mean, look at that. That's a great shot for him right there. I love Sas's quads. The shape, the separation, the detail. That's how quads should look, in my opinion. Everyone should have quads that good. They don't, though. Not everyone does. If I scroll down, I'll find who's New York Pro. That's a photo from New York Pro. Oh, that's a good shot from the Cal State Pro. That's a Gilco picture. It's got to be a Gilco picture. They do such good work. But look at that. Condition was bang on. He held his condition on all those shows, and they went for months. It wasn't just like a weekend back to back. It was months in a row. It's Tuttle. Never mind. They always fool me with the thumbnail. I always think, oh, that's the posing footage right there, right? It's not. It's not. It's just a thumbnail to get me to get my attention. Give it one more second, guys. Find his posing. Oh, here we go. I think. Yeah, there we go. This is the Cal State routine for Sas. Very complete. He does have this bicep. The left bicep is torn. You really only notice it in the front double bicep pose. I don't see it distracting in any other pose, honestly. Yeah, so the Cal State, you can tell he actually tightened up a little bit after this. This was not his best look of the season. It was very good, but he tightened up a little more after this. The Toronto show, he was tighter than this. But Sas is very, very good. We're going to look at it next. Matthias Hollweck. Yeah, I'm going through all the shows. I'm sorry, all the competitors, the top competitors that'll be in the UK show, the British Grand Prix, before I look at the Mexico. Mexico actually has I think, a better lineup. Yeah, it does have a better line. What am I saying? So Matthias Hollweck from Germany is in this too. He's a very good competitor. He's coached by the boss of Outlaw. A former classic physique pro. This was him last year in Prague, the show that was won by Martin Fitzwater, narrowly edging out six-time classic physique Olympia champ Chris Bumstead, who made his open debut and possibly the last time we'll ever see him on stage. Third place was Shawn Clarida at that show, who had tremendously filled out since the Olympia. The Olympia 4 weeks before had been a disaster, very, very flat. He had worked with Matt Jensen, and Matt was not really on the ball coaching anyone last year. He was just, I think he had like one and a half foot out the door as far as coaching already at that point. Anyway, Matthias Hollweck from Germany looks really, really good. So I'm just going to see if there's a more recent update, because I'm sure he probably added a little bit of size. So this was, not really sure where this was, but he's an excellent poser. He hits a lot of those classic physique poses as an open bodybuilder, which, you see Urs doing that too. You're going to see more and more of that because a lot of the classic guys are moving on, and leaving classic physique for what they hope will be greener pastures in the open. I want to show you Pablo Llopis. Pablo Llopis from Spain. I should be able to pronounce that because I do speak some half-assed Spanish. That's old. Here we go. So this is his most recent update, Pablo. It's double L, which is a Elie. So I'm going to say Pablo Llopis. Great conditioning. I think we've seen across the board very consistent conditioning at most of these shows from a lot of different people. I haven't seen too many people show up at these at any of the events this year like really off. So give credit to these guys. They're trying their best. Some full body shots, and we'll move on to the next guy. So great shape, very round. Look at those delts. Very round and full. And that was 3 days ago. So that was about a week out. Yeah. Looks like a young guy. That fresh muscle. It's going to get more mature and detailed as time goes on. Looks to me like he's probably in his late 20s, maybe 30. From Italy, we have Andrea Muzzi. So here's Andrea Muzzi. There's two really good Andreas. There's Presti, which I actually prefer Presti's physique a little better than Muzzi. But here he was today. This was his most recent update. Solid physique. We'll see how he does. Look at one more of his updates, possibly. That's training. Yeah, it's a good shot. Great front lat spread, huh? I mean, I wish Nick Walker had a V-taper like that. I'm crapping on Nick Walker. No, tomorrow night, the Meathead podcast, we're going to talk a lot about what we feel like the next moves for Samson should be, Nick Walker, Mike Sommerfeld. I think we'll also address this Sarah Villegas controversy about that awful post she made today about Natalia, where she lost a lot of fans and a lot of followers over that. But we'll get into that tomorrow. We're not talking about that right now. So we got one more guy to look at. It's not Joan Pradells from Spain. It's Joan. So I was looking for Juan, could not find him. But I did find him once I got his right name. It's Juan, not Juan J-U. It's J-O, which I've never seen. Well, I'll give him a follow. What the heck? All right, so this is today's update from Joan. You can tell he's a very young guy. He's probably like mid-20s. Good size, great shape. I'm not wowed by that condition for being 4 days out. I'd like to see, that side leg looks pretty blurry to me. And I'm wondering if the side leg looks like that, I'm guessing the back isn't very detailed, but we'll see what he can do in 4 days. I don't know. I don't think that's water. I think that's a little fat that you need to get rid of. Okay, he punches very hard, so I don't want to piss him off too much. He's going to get in a cold plunge. He's going to pose before he jumps in the cold water. Yeah, he's a kid. You can tell looking at the face, he's a kid. He's a youngster. Great quads, though. Look at those quads. Nice and round. Look at that sweep. The quad sweep is largely genetic. I understand that. Let's see. Keon's supposed to be doing the show. No, Keon is doing the Prague show next weekend. He is going to make his open debut somewhere around 220, we've heard. What's up, Smoke Dog? Keon doing Prague. Yep. Krizo is definitely having issues with his left scapular region. So hopefully he can open up. Yeah, he had that shoulder surgery, which, you know, it's not easy coming back from major shoulder surgery. I think he had torn rotator cuff or torn labrum. Not easy to come back from a shoulder surgery. Derek was huge, blah, 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 blah. Martin will win Prague. I don't know, man. We'll see. What about Keon? And we'll see. Andrew Jack might be jumping into Prague. We'll see. We'll see. Why is Classic Judge only? Yeah, I don't know, Starline. That is a weird thing that they do like that. All right, I'm going to get back to. I want to start getting into Mexico. So the Mexico Pro-Am is also happening Saturday. 2 open pro shows on the same day. And this is going to be another open show for the giant killer, Shawn Clarida. So Shawn made a tremendous showing at the Olympia. I know the scores said that Keon won with a perfect score, rightfully so, but that doesn't mean it wasn't close. It doesn't mean that he totally blew Shawn away. I thought Shawn, this is probably the best Shawn I've ever seen. Really put together. This is even his shape. The only thing that holds him back a little against someone like Keon is his clavicles are not very wide. That's your bones. There's nothing you can do about that. But look at the package he brought in with a new coach, John Jewett, who's a pro himself. Obviously, you guys know John Jewett. And I'm not sure how long they've been working together. I'm trying to get an interview with Shawn. He's probably a little occupied right now. He hasn't gotten back to me, but I don't know how long they worked together for the Olympia. But geez, he looked fantastic. I was so impressed with the way he looked at the Olympia. Look at that. In fact, I want to go to Gilco. Gilco Productions, guys. I use their pictures a lot, and I give them credit, of course. And their videos are just a lot of times when the live stream is poor quality, but I know that Gilco was there. I wait for the Gilco footage to sort of judge how people looked, because that's a better indication of how they really looked. They have the most advanced, sophisticated video cameras probably that money can buy, and they get some crystal clear footage. I'll find you, Shawn, because I was just very pleasantly surprised and shocked at how good Shawn looked at this show. I didn't expect it. I thought he's like 44 years old, 43, 44. I think he's 43. You know, a lot of people thought he was going to be on the way out. Or at least the physique would start to show some decline. But no, he's looking as good, maybe better than ever. I think he looks better here than when he won the Olympia 3 years ago. Look at that. Look at that. That front double is beautiful. Great shape. Great quad sweep, bicep peak. He's really done a great job of controlling the midsection. At one point, it was starting to be an issue. It was starting to bulge out a little bit between poses. He's definitely either reduced his midsection or he's just making a much more of a concerted effort to keep it flat and sucked in all the time, because you never, ever want to see somebody's belly bulging out on stage. It just throws everything off. The midsection is the center of the physique. You know, Milos has said this so many times. He tells people to glue your belly button to your spine. Keep that waistline, that midsection, as small, as tight, as flat as possible. Shawn's doing that now. But look at that, man. The muscle maturity, the detail that this guy showed, just spectacular. So impressed with what Shawn brought. Now, he won the 2021 Legion Pro as an open. At 178 pounds, he beat Sergio Oliva Jr. and Regan Grimes, who were both somewhere in the 270-pound range. You know, almost 100 pounds over. And I think Sergio, before the show, said, if Clarida beats me, I'll retire, but he didn't retire. I think he was just being silly. But yeah, here's some good shots from the Olympia with comparison between Keon and Shawn. You can see Keon is a much bigger guy. I mean, Keon was 211.9. Shawn was probably about close to 180, I think, maybe right around 180. So Keon has about 40 pounds on him. I'm sorry, That's some shitty math on my part. 32 pounds. But he just has a wider frame than Shawn, a much bigger frame. It can hold a lot more mass. Man, I'd give Clarida that shot, the side try. I'd give Keon the side chest. I don't know. I guess I'd give Keon the rear lat because of the width, but in terms of back thickness, Clarida actually has a thicker back. You can see that right there. Not that Keon has a bad back. It's just Shawn has so much more thickness and density in the middle there. Yeah, that was a great matchup, man. I'm glad that Keon didn't win just super easy with no one really pushing him, and Shawn pushed him. It's always fun to see more of a battle. And again, I know on the score sheet it says Keon perfect score, which that would indicate that it wasn't close at all, but a lot of us felt it was much closer than those score sheets would give you any indication. Let's see. Between Derek and Dorian Haywood, give me Dorian. Phil Clayhart may say otherwise, though. Oh, as far as who should have won the Olympia. Is Mike the Badass as hated as Derek? Nah. I guess Germans don't like him, and I'm not really sure why. Tomorrow night on the Meathead podcast, I'm going to have Austrian Powers. This is really Leo Merhofer, who has the Overcome podcast channel, does great work. And Leo is going to have a lot more insight to that because Leo he's from Germany. He speaks fluent German, and he knows the German bodybuilding scene very well. And he can explain that. So I'm going to look to him. Sass is a damn good bodybuilder, doesn't get much love. Sass in person, he's a dry senior. So yeah, he brought the condition. Clearly really took the wind out of Keon's sails. So the Germans hate Mike. Well, that's awful. It says those are his countrymen. I would never have thought that they hated him. That's actually kind of sad to hear. I wouldn't want that. I don't know why they hate him. I guess I'll find out though. I will get to the bottom of it, guys. Fear not. Fear not. So I'm going to put one more shot up of Clarida while I get to the rest of your comments, and then we'll move on to the next guy. Oh, Roman just did an interview. We'll never back Mike. That's rough. Two types of people here. A year's one January, December, years last year's Olympia, this year's Olympia. Yeah, I mean, bodybuilding fans, obviously our whole schedule revolves around the Olympia. They give a reason all in general why they don't like him. Not really, except his personality is fake as fuck. See, how do you know when someone's personality is fake? The United Kingdom is very underrated when it comes to bodybuilding besides the United States. The majority of Olympians come from UK since 1965. I wouldn't say majority, no. So he's an asshole for me. Jeez, that's rough. Yeah, he was being a dick to Janicki. I did see that. We're talking about Mike Sommerfeld. He comes off that way a bit in interviews. Maybe that's why he moves around a lot. He was fine. He did an interview with me about 6 months ago when him and his wife were in Mexico. I think they don't really live anywhere. They just sort of move around the world. They live out of a couple of suitcases, which is crazy. I could never do that. Surprised Janicki. Yeah, Janicki's a big dude. He's like 6'2", 6'3". I wouldn't put up with that shit. Did you agree with the results of the Olympia? Most of them. I mean, I didn't have a lot of issues. I really didn't. They just don't do the collab. Well, it's hard to say no. And Janicki has a lot of followers. So when you do a collab with him, it helps your channel tremendously. Eric was just filming. At least, I mean, people wouldn't have talked about the interview, the video so much if Mike hadn't acted that way. So I think it worked out for the best. Shocked they weren't getting along at all. I was waiting for Eric to throw a left hook. All right, so we're going to move on to our next star competing at the Mexico Pro this weekend. And I think aside from Shawn, who took second in the 212, I think Tonio would be your favorite because Tonio just did place 8th at the Olympia. I believe that's the second time he's placed 8th. He was 8th 2 years ago as well. I wish Gilco had gotten some footage of him. They got pictures. These are Gilco photos right here. I mean, he's got a beautiful physique. He really does. Just the shape. I hate to keep comparing him to Dexter because that's not fair. He's his own person. He's a unique physique in and of itself. So I don't need to keep comparing him to anybody. But that's why he's able to do so well as a guy he's only about 220 pounds, 225 maybe at about 5'7" or so. I mean, that is when you look at the height and weight, I mean, Nick Walker's probably about the same height as him with another 50 pounds of muscle. But bigger isn't always better. Yeah, Nick did have him by 2 places at this Olympia, but I actually prefer, as far as the aesthetics and the shape and the symmetry, I prefer Tonio's physique a lot more over Nick's. Great chest thickness. His back is just ridiculous. Back is insane. I'll find another picture, guys. Another Olympia shot. What's this? I don't know what the heck that was. He's out in the crowd. That's a nice candid shot of walking off stage. These coaches, I suppose. His squad. So Tonio Burton. Yeah, these are some good shots from the Olympia. Yeah. Yeah, he missed last year's Olympia because he had a motorcycle accident. He got second-degree burns, and I saw the pictures. It was mostly on his legs and his forearms and stuff. But he was messed up. Luckily, it was just flesh wounds, and it all healed, and he doesn't have any crazy scars that I can see. But look at that. His back shot's tremendous. Condition was right on. And if you follow Tonio, he never got out of shape since he won. Did he win Legion this year? What did he win? I can't remember what show. Whatever show he won. Look at that back lat spread one more time. Jeez, it's like a cobra. He's got one of the best backs in the sport today. The thigh shot is tremendous. See, he has that little split between the abs like Keon. Keon has even more of a gap in there than Tonio, but Tonio looks great. I'm a big fan. Nice guy too. Hell of a nice guy. I almost call him a kid. He's not a kid. He's in his 30s. He's a grown-ass dude. This is somebody's iPhone footage, probably from like the 4th or 5th row zoomed in. Yeah, he was in that second call out. Let me find that for you real quick. I have a picture. It's not the greatest lighting, as you know. Top four. Derek Wind. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's so dark, guys. It was so dark. You can barely see it. The lighting at the Mr. Olympia was it wasn't bright enough. Not bright enough. You can see Tonio was up there with Good Vito, Martin Fitzwater, Nick Walker, Brandon Curry, and William Bonac. Really good group of guys up there. Just goes to show you how number 1 through 10 at the Olympia this year, it was just everybody looked fantastic, I thought. But that's Tonio. Tonio next to Martin. Yeah, that's awful. Awful footage. It's just somebody's iPhone pictures, which looks like something I would do. Yeah, I just want to show you his back before we move on. What a tremendous back on him. What a back. Incredible. Next up, Regan Grimes, tremendously popular. Let's see how many followers he's got now. He's got a lot of followers. Regan has 1.9 million. Oof. Well done. So this was back at the Cal State earlier in the season. I think it was June. He won that. Beat Sasan. Forced Sasan to keep competing. But Sasan beat him in Toronto. Turnabout is fair play, as we say. Yeah, I mean, I want to see more quads on him. I want to see more chest thickness. He's got great shoulders. Arms aren't bad. Back is great on Regan. But yeah, the best he could do was 14th place. He had been top 10 a couple of years back. This wasn't the Olympia. I want to see if he's got anything up from the Olympia. Just curious. No, that's not the Olympia. That was 18 weeks ago. Oh boy. See you in Mexico. He's walking around with his ass hanging out. So this was yesterday. He put this up. I know it's kind of hard to see with those wacky lights on the ceiling there as a backdrop. But yeah, his back shots are his best shots. Because you don't see any weaknesses at all. Even his arms look better in the back shots. I mean, he's a great bodybuilder, but I mean, the Olympia is the Olympia. If you make the Olympia period, you got to be happy. His coach is dumb, super sliced. He's letting us know. Everyone faces challenges. I don't know what his challenges were. I don't know. Yeah, Regan's got a great physique. I mean, that's why he tried Classic for a minute. He won the New York Pro Classic, after losing 22 pounds in like 24 hours. How he did that, I'll never know. Only Chris Aceto, his coach, knew. He won that and he went to the Olympia Classic Physique. I think he was somewhere toward the bottom of the top 10 that year. 8th, 9th, 10th. This is going back a few years. Yeah, he's got a bunch of shots. Again, this is crappy footage. Gilco didn't film him, unfortunately. Fortunately for him. Yeah, Regan, he's very good. To me, I don't know. He still needs a little bit more, and I don't know if we're ever going to see it. I hate to lose faith because I'd sort of given up that Andrew Jack would ever look any different. Andrew looked really good, and of course, he looked very good. He was top 5 in the Olympia twice, but I didn't know if he was ever going to move up because I'm thinking these guys are so great. He's got to make some improvements, and he made improvements. And we'll talk about that tomorrow on the Meathead podcast. So that is Regan. Let's go to Hassan. Hassan Mustafa was 4th place at the Tsunami Pro in France. I had just interviewed him a few days before that. We had high hopes he was going to win that. Didn't win, but I think he just needed to be a few pounds lighter. By a few, I mean about 10 pounds lighter. So this recent? This was 2 weeks ago as he was prepping for this. Now, he had gained 20 pounds of muscle over the last year working with his new coach, and I don't think he needed 20 pounds. He already had plenty of size. I see a little loss in the muscle separation, just overall condition. So that was 2 weeks ago. I'm hoping that he has trimmed down significantly from here because this is good. It's not going to be enough to beat Shawn, Clarida, and Tonio Burton if they're on, and they're going to be on. I mean, when are they not on? They're very consistent. So this was backstage at the Tsunami show in France. Yeah, he's like 5'7". I think he was about 280, something like that, 270 or 280, somewhere in that range, just massive. But I want to see more detail. I'd like to see the waist a little more streamlined. He's a big dude, though. He is a big dude, Hassan. All the way big dude, as we used to say. Tonio, 225, 243. It's nuts. I got to go back to my last comment. I don't know if that's true, Kalyan, that they produce the second most number of Olympians. That might be true. It didn't sound right to me. I'm trying to think of what other countries there would be, right? I don't know. Bodybuilding Friendly Society marketing exposure. What Bodybuilding Friendly Society marketing? Muscle bellies allows thickness. Oh yeah, I mean the longer your muscle bellies are, the bigger your muscles can be and the fuller. I wasn't super impressed with Keon. Shawn's pretty gnarly. Brandon should have placed higher than Nick. Yeah, a lot of people felt that way. That you should have flip-flopped Brandon Curry and Nick Walker. Brandon should have been 6th. Yeah, I agree. Ruff should have won Classic. Wish he was a little bit taller. Yeah, I was really rooting for Terrence. He's such a tremendous poser. The lines, the symmetry, the shape. It's, we can argue about what is classic physique, but when I look at Terrence, there's no doubt in my mind that's not a 212 guy. That's an open guy. That's a classic physique pro right there. I don't think Nick was good enough for top 10. I mean, few people feel that way. You got a lot of Nick Walker fans who think he should have been like top 3, but they're very, very blind. Nick to Classic. Nick would need to drop 100 pounds, literally. Terrence won Classic. He didn't, but I wanted him to win. I really did. What's up, Don Pump? We think of Beirut at the O. I wasn't overly impressed. I don't know what I expected. I mean, the quads were a liability. I've seen him better. I know, obviously, he didn't get the visa till about a week out from the show, so having to put all the travel arrangements everything together last minute, I'm sure that affected him. But I wasn't overly impressed. I expected more. I expected to be like blown away, like wow. But let's see what happens next time when he's able to get things in order a little faster. Should give Brandon a better look. Regan and Martin are the future of bodybuilding. Well, they're young, so yeah. Martin's only, 28? If you use a hype trick of Mike, if you usually win Classic. The hype trick. Glasses are back in bodybuilding. I should go to the next guy. I should move on from Hassan. We also have Tim Budesheim from Germany. Tim had been, let me find him first. Tim, let's see. So this was 3 days ago. These are his most recent updates. Budesheim. That's how you say it, Budesheim. Tim, I'm surprised he's going all the way over there. Britain would have been a much quicker trip, but yeah, he was 7th at the Germany Pro Show where Urs won. He has a big fan base, obviously, in Germany. Nice guy. Really nice guy. Well, we only get one posing. They always do that. They put the posing one first, and then you got to look at all this other stuff. They trick me. They get me every time, man. That's a guest posing. No, was he allowed to compete like that with all those props? Mixed up the whole yesterday. Oh, this was a guest appearance. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Guest appearance. I think he's being a Trojan. The guys from 300, not Trojan the condom, a Trojan. The actual Trojans from ancient Greece. That's cool. We got the sword, the helmet, all that good stuff. I actually have those same. I don't know what that thing's called. It's like a skirt thing. Because I was a gladiator for Halloween when we went to Las Vegas a few years ago, me and Janet. Yeah, Tim looks really good. Condition is usually bang on with this guy. Structurally, he's not as gifted as some of the other guys. But he's got tremendous muscle thickness, density. Look at that back. Nice. Yeah, Budesheim. Oh, there's a great shot of him, Quint. That must have been backstage in Germany, yeah. Yeah, Tim's a thick dude. Very thick dude. Oof, that footage looks rough. Rough. I don't think I'm going to put you guys through that. I can't do that to you. I care too much about you guys. I'll just leave this. This is a great shot there. These are great shots. Great tan, great condition, great lighting. Yeah, those are great shots for Tim. Behruz, Nick, and Sampson, biggest disappointments. I mean, Behruz had reasons. I don't want to say excuses, but Behruz didn't even know if he was going to be able to get there. And Giles and I have talked about this. Giles has put it out there like, could he really prepare with 100% intensity, due diligence, whatever you want to call it, not even knowing if he was going to make it? Because remember, he's been qualified for 3 years in a row, 22, 23, and 24 for the Olympia. He didn't get to any of those. He never got the visa. So after 3 disappointments in a row, I'm sure he was trying to be as optimistic and hopeful as possible. But I wonder if in the back of his head, he's like, they're not going to let me go to the Olympia. They're not going to give me a visa anyway. So I don't know. Nick was a disappointment. I expected more. And Sampson, obviously, I thought Sampson was going to be shredded and still huge. He was not. Another big dude, the big belly. Was that Budesheim or who are we talking about? Hassan? Do you think Chris Bumstead should change him to Cheat Bumstead? Well, if Chris cheated his height, it wasn't him. He wasn't the one doing the measuring. So I don't think we can blame Chris. We got to blame whoever did the measuring, right? I think. Tim Budesheim. I'll show you Brent Swanson. Now, I like Brent. I don't expect Brent to place very well. He might crack top 5 just because he gets crazy conditioned. And I hope he doesn't do this blonde hair again. That was 125 weeks ago. That's old. Funny story. So 2011 Team Universe, I beat Brent, but Brent was about half this size. I would say that it looks like this Brent ate that Brent, but it looks like this Brent ate 2 of the Brents that I beat. So I can't say that I beat this Brent. I beat a much, much smaller version. Probably about 50 pounds lighter, I'm guessing. And Brent was natty back then. He's put a lot of size on, but yeah. Great conditioning. He works very, very hard. He has a lot of fun with the sport. Him and his wife are both pros. Great guy. Do I expect him to place highly here? Probably not. Not being a dick. I'm just being realistic. Like I said, I can like people as human beings and think they're cool and get along great with them. But when I'm talking about their physique, I have to tell it like I call it like I see it, tell it like it is. I show no personal favoritism. Just like if I've ever had bad interaction with someone, or maybe someone like Keon hasn't given me an interview in 2 years, and maybe he never will again, unfortunately. But I give him props for how great he looks. I don't take out the fact that there's his wife. I don't take out the fact that I'm salty about not getting interviews with him when I'm talking about his physique. So that's Brent. Another one competing. I want to show you. Remember the bearded woman that I did an interview with? Unfortunately, the audio was so bad. So Mariana Guayara is competing in. I thought I was following her. Or did she change her? I think she changed her Instagram account. So she had a beard, as you can see. It was a huge controversy because she was planning on competing with the beard board, but someone in the IFBB reached out to her and said, "Nope, you cannot do that." This was her a few years ago. I think it was like 3-4 years ago. She obviously didn't have a beard then. I think she turned pro as a female bodybuilder. So Mariana, she was rocking the beard, the mustache. But here we see she has actually, let's listen. Let's take a listen.
Soy Jessica, atrapada aquí. Amiga.
So she shaved the beard. She's clean shaven now. She looks a lot more feminine, I think, obviously without a beard. Any comments on that, guys? Any comments? Kalyan just says, Nick Walker said he's up by 10 pounds since previous outing, which is pro, unfortunately. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about it tomorrow. Tomorrow night on Meathead Podcast, I have Justin Randall, who is a contest promoter. He puts on the NPC Rhode Island. He is a top prep coach. A ton of people in New England and obviously outside New England use Justin as a coach. He's a 212 pro himself. He'll be joining us along with, as I said, Leo Meyerhofer. We're going to be talking about what we think Samson needs to do, Mike Sommerfeld, Nick Walker, and again, I think we're gonna have to reference the Sarah Villegas thing, the poor sportsmanship. What happened to Logan? What was he, like 14th? I think he was 13th. No, he wasn't overlooked. He was thin. Want to take a look at Logan? Why not? Logan's another one who won't give me interviews anymore. He used to give me interviews all the time, but then me and Jose were doing a preview of the Arnold. Was that like 8 months ago? Something like that. And in my haste, I couldn't remember his nickname, which is the Texas Oak. And he got really upset about that. So here he was, the Olympia. You know, he does have a very great physique. It's just he looks lanky compared to some of these shorter guys. Not Ruffin. Ruffin doesn't look huge at all, but I feel like he still needs more size. He's tall. I mean, I always say you shouldn't be able to look at somebody and know if they're short or tall by just looking at them. If that's the case, then their structure is off, like their limbs are too long or too short, or in the case of him, he just needs a little more overall mass, I think. I don't know what else he can do. I mean, he took second place to Sommerfeld back at the Arnold. That was a great showing for him. But yeah, the Olympia was not his show. Can't blame his coach. Patrick Tour did a great job. The condition was great. And sometimes somebody can place outside the top 10, but there will be a lot of fans who say that's my favorite physique up there. And there's a lot of Logan fans that believe he's got the best physique. I mean, look at his Insta. He's got 1 million followers. You don't get 1 million followers for nothing. You don't. It was back at the Arnold with him and Sommerfeld. Of course, Mike was 212 there. He had to come down under 204 for the Olympia because they did not height him in at over 5'9" anymore. He was under 5'9". Maximum weight was 204. He weighed in at 202.4. Logan, I think they showed, was 224 at this Olympia. But he looked a lot better at the Arnold. Fuller, a little thicker and fuller. Not a tremendous, but it's little things can make such a difference, guys. Logan. Got to find at least one good shot to leave it on while I take a couple more comments. Did I show everybody I wanted to show? Yeah, I did. How did I get on it? Where did Nick come from? I don't even know. How did I end up showing pictures of Nick Walker on Logan's account? Logan had those posted. That's why. Yeah, it's funny. They say Nick. I heard one of the commentators saying they think he needs more arms. I think he's got great arms. Personally, Connie says height issue in class physique division has been like Christopher Nolan movie. Unclear. Yeah, unfortunately, that really tarnished the division right before the Olympia. This whole controversy over guys getting heighted taller than they really should be. It's unfortunate. Urs looked pretty good at the O. Yeah. Let's see him at the O. Okay, go to Gilko. Gilko filmed him. I think they knew a lot of people are going to want to see what he looked like. Gilko is two brothers, the Mitchell brothers. They do fantastic work. Fantastic. Like I say, I always wait for the Gilko footage to come out on their Instagram page when the web stream, when the live stream is poorly lit, and I can't really see what people look like. I got to wait for the Gilko footage to really tell you guys what I think, because I'm judging this by some really crappy live stream footage. Ooh, how far down is it, for God's sake? I think I went past it. No, here we go. Urs. Here we go. There's Urs. Okay. So, yeah, I thought Urs made a tremendous Olympia debut. He did make top 15. He was 13th. Beautiful shape. Symmetry. Obviously, that's why he was third at the Olympia, I think 3 times in class physique. One of the top class physique competitors every year for the past few years, and he's still only 27, I think. So he just needs more time. He needs to put a little more size on. One more good off season. I think he'll probably be able to put on another few pounds of quality muscle. He really needs it in the back and the triceps. The back thickness is an issue right now. It's a liability. Legs are really good. Shoulders are great. The back needs to come up. It needs to be thicker, because you can see he's not the widest guy. His clavicles are not wide. When you don't have very wide clavicles, all you can do is just get bigger shoulders, bigger upper back, thicken the upper back, because backs are very critical. You see how a lot of shows come down to the back poses because so many guys look good from the front and not as good from the back. Yeah. So, but great debut for Urs. I haven't really followed. He's not disappointed. His fans are, because they were hoping he was going to do better. Bruce Vidal with the visa was chilling in popcorn when he got the call. Urs showing up with his giant mohawk surely was intentional and manipulated. Oh, that was in Classic. Yeah, he did have a mohawk last year. Great hand tattoo. Compete with beard? No. Measure your height with a wig? Yes. Yeah, are they trying to say Mike's got a wig? It's not a wig. I could see he went to Turkey to get a hair transplant or somewhere. Maybe not Turkey. That's where most people go. That's where I went, where Bumstead went. Yeah, because they showed him like a few years ago, and his hair was receding. It was receding, and now his hairline's way back down again. That just doesn't happen. I don't watch this shit. Oh, that's what you're saying when I had the woman on with the shaving. Classic's a competitor now. Wesley is going to really struggle. Logan was a catalyst. Let me put some other footage up while we're talking. Why not? What the heck? I'll be off soon. Killing the coverage, Ron. Thank you, Dolan. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm so grateful for the turnout we had Friday and Saturday nights. Saturday night especially, we had that's the highest views I've had on my channel on anything since I restarted it, so to say, 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. This is November of 2023, when MD went out of business abruptly with no warning to me. I never lost my YouTube channel. I just wasn't contributing much to it, because especially the last few years with MD, from 2017 to 2023, I was the online editor. So I was responsible for most of the magazine content and all of the YouTube channel content on MD. So I didn't think it would be right. I thought it would be a conflict of interest if I was putting out videos on my channel while I was supposed to be getting more traffic and views for the MD channel on YouTube. So I didn't do anything with my channel for years. And then once MD just went poof, vanished into the vapors, into thin air, I brought it back. And the Olympia watch party we had Saturday night for the Classic Physique Finals and the Open Mr. Olympia Finals was my highest viewed video since that time. Now, I did get higher views in the very early days of YouTube because there weren't that many people making content back then. It's a lot more competitive now. But I wasn't even monetized back then, so I wasn't getting a cent out of those. I'm monetized now, so thanks, everybody. Props to you and your British mate, Giles, for your great live commentary. Amazing, Giles. Thank you. Yeah, we did a whole breakdown of the Olympia yesterday, guys. It's on this channel right now. It's almost 2 hours. It's supposed to be power hour, but sometimes we just get fired up, and I look at the counter and I see how long we've been going, but I mean, there's still more to say, so we keep it going. I doubt Urs will get big back in one off season, maybe 2 years. Yeah, he'll put on some size. I don't think we're going to see his final form, Urs, for another, I'd say 2 or 3 more years. He's still growing. I'll leave this up because you guys love Derek so much. I know you want to see Derek winning. Fuad's podcast called the question among others, height to weight ratios and the internet sleuth sticking up Mike's issue probably with the help of the Germans. Yeah, I mean, we had that famous video. I already deleted it from my, I had it where he was talking to Dennis James a few years back. I don't know why you would say this when there was a camera on you, but he said, they have me listed as 173 centimeters, but I'm actually 170. And I think he was hiding in at higher than that with the hair. I think he was coming in at 175 centimeters, which would be over 5'9" for us silly Americans. But yeah. All right. I think I'm going to take off, guys. I'm going to take off. All right, guys. So get rid of that too. Oh, that's the Instagram. All right, guys. So yeah, we have 2 shows coming up. Saturday, we have a post-Olympia show in UK called the British Grand Prix. Your favorites for that are Krizo, Michael Krizonik, James Hollingshead, Sasan Heirati. Those are definitely the 3 front runners for that show. And then the Mexico Pro happening in Mexico City Saturday as well. I think that's going to come down to either Shawn Clarida or Tonio Burton for the win, because they were both. Clarida got a very, very competitive second place in the 212. He's a former Olympia champion. He did win an open show before the Legion Sports 4 years ago. Tonio Burton, this is twice he's been top 8 at the Olympia, so he's a favorite. Regan's in it too. I don't think Regan's going to be either of those guys. Hassan's very good. He'll be in it. Tim Budesheim. So there's some really good guys. The Prague show the week after that is probably going to have an even stronger lineup. Krizo's doing that. We know Keon is doing that. Everyone's going to be wanting to see Keon and how he compares to open guys, because we've never seen Keon Pearson next to an open bodybuilding competitor in competition. This will be the first time. So will he blow the show away like a lot of people think? Or, what if Andrew Jack jumps in? I know I've heard Giles said he's thinking about it. So we'll see. And Krizo's no joke. Krizo's not going to roll over and just let Keon take the win. Andrea Muzzi would jump at Muzzi is in the British Grand Prix. He's on the list, Gaetano Vaccaro. He is in the show. I saw him on the list. We actually talked about him, about 40 minutes ago at this point. So, yeah. Milos hasn't been critical of Derek at all in Cutler Podcast. I'll keep me praising him for hiding. Milos is playing real safe. Yeah, I mean, why would you want to make enemies? Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Eastern is time zone for like New York City, Boston, where I'm at, Miami, Florida. The Eastern half of the USA, 7 p.m. We're going to be live. Me, Big Mike Cox, going to be joined by Leo Meyerhofer, who's a classic physique pro and has the great channel Overcome podcast. He'll have some really great insights on the classic physique division, as well as everything else. He's got a very astute eye. We're going to be talking about Mike Sommerfeld, Nick Walker, Sensen Dauda, for sure. We'll probably talk a little bit about the Olympia in general, of course. And we'll also be joined by Justin Randall, local guy to me. He's a promoter of the NPC Rhode Island show. He's a 212 pro himself, very well known and respected in the New England area. So I really want to hear Justin's insights as well on these issues. He'll have a lot to say. Krizo's a beast. Raymond Jones, I'm gonna let you get the last word here. Rematch of Legion with Tonio, Shawn, and Regan in the lineup. Was Tonio in it in 2021? I don't know, but have they all won? I know Shawn's won Legion and Tonio's won Legion. I don't think Regan's ever won Legion. I don't think he's won that one. I could be quite wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, it'll be a rematch. Shawn was up against him. I know that 4 years ago. Shawn beat him, Regan. I don't know if Tonio was in it that year. He probably was. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. And keep your notifications on. Like, subscribe, share, smash that like button. Of course, that helps me. If you're watching this in the replay, please drop a comment or two. Helps me out. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Later.